What is up, gentlemen? So, I am here to help you get better at texting and to keep her engaged forever. Okay. Now, eventually, you're going to have to learn how to ask her out on the date smoothly, but this will allow you to sexualize and like really escalate the conversation in a way that is really smooth and works basically every time. So this is what's called a compliance loop. All right. And I know that that sounds mega autistic and it sounds incredibly complicated, but it works. And so if you care about results, stick around and pay attention to my lecture with my shitty mic. And if you don't care about results, you can fuck right off. And that's okay. If you want to feel good about yourself, keep going to the gym, bro. I'm sure that she'll text you back when you hit those 55s for strict curl reps. Okay. I'm sure she's going to do that. What is a compliance loop? Well, compliance just means saying yes. And so if you want to get a girl on a date, you need her to say yes. And human psychology is pretty simple in some aspects where we say yes more and more, and we're more likely to say yes the more we say yes. All right. So this is just a good way to get her to say yes to stuff so that she will say yes to the other stuff. So you can make bigger and bigger asks and eventually get her on the date or really, really sexualize the conversation. So this is going to be a dating app example. And I'm also going to have a counter example, like a bad example from one of my clients that will show you what happens when you don't use this loop. All right. Now, if you just want a dating app script that is very sexual and wants to, gets girls really, really turned on really quickly, then there is a link to that on this channel. You can go watch that. It's like how to drop panties on dating apps. So this compliance loop is not too complicated. You want to start by giving her a hoop to jump through. Okay, so if I'm going to use my sexualized dating app script as an example. So my first question is, are you open-minded? And this is in the middle of conversation. So maybe the conversation will look something like this. Maybe it'll look like you have, like, I noticed something interesting about you. What you might have one of my biggest weaknesses. And then she says, what is it? First, how open-minded are you from 1 to 10? Okay. So that is what that might look like. And when I ask her this, I'm doing a few things. I'm putting her in a frame of wanting to be open-minded because most people want to be open-minded. And they also can't get weird if they comply with this, then they can't get weird if you sexualize the conversation, right? It wouldn't make sense. It'd be very uncalibrated to say I'm a very open-minded person and then someone brings up sex on a dating app where sex is like a big thing and they get weird. So basically, I ask the open-minded question. If I get compliance or get a yes, then I move on. If I get a no, then it just means I need to build value. If I don't get compliance on a basic question like that, then I need to build some value. And if you want me to make a video on how to build value over text and how to DHV or display high value, then drop a comment down below and I can show you how to do that. I'll do that if we get, I don't know, man, if this video gets like 500 views, I'll do it. Okay. As far as sexualizing, what this looks like is, if you look at the script, is basically you look submissive. I don't just say that. I say you have a very sexy, submissive vibe about you. And that specifically, those specific words, it sounds way better than you look submissive. I am caveman. I am dumb. Like, you don't want to be that guy. All right. But you look submissive. And then if she gives compliance, then I give her another hoop to jump through, which is actually, in this case, what kind of submissive? I give her two options. So it's, are you tie me up submissive or pull my hair submissive? And tie you up is like a little, it's obviously going to be a little bit more intense. Asking a girl to actually meet up with you is actually a lot more like intense, just upfront when a girl hasn't said yes to a few things. So you can just follow this loop of giving I mean, you can do this with basically anything. Give someone a hoop to jump through that like you want them to frame themselves as something. So if you want someone to frame themselves as open-minded, you want them to, frame themselves as spontaneous. You want them to frame themselves as adventurous. You want them to frame themselves as like non-judgmental about sex and like a kind of a free spirit. Like if you want these things out of somebody you're talking to, then you can literally just ask these questions about them. And then if they say yes, now they are that person. Right. And so it makes it a lot easier to move things in the direction that you want them to move because you've both come to an understanding like we're both open minded people. We're both looking to like have fun and, we're open to, X, Y, and Z. That is how this texting loop actually works and how it continues to work. And if you don't get compliance, get a yes, you just build some value and you show that you're worth getting that yes. Or it's just not a good fit and she's not interested. So here is a bad example of what to do. So one of my clients sent me this earlier, and I'm just going to point out some mistakes that you made here. Okay, so did a really good job with like kind of a baity first text, which is I'm curious about something. Ask me anything. Do you take care of the plants? Not bad. And right away, the girl's giving compliance because she's like, yes, I do. They need a dad though. So she's like, kind of like leaning into him. If you think about it, like she's like kind of chasing already. And so he does a pretty good job of saying like, oh, you both will be very well taken care of. And she's like, thank you. From there, you would want to either set some sort of frame to like prepare to sexualize the conversation or actually just sexualize the conversation a little bit, whether it's like misinterpret something sexually or, cold read something about her or give her like a unique compliment. Or you can just, make an assumption about her. These are all things that you can do. But instead he like changes the subject, which kind of kills all the tension. So are you from North Carolina originally? He's like, nah, I just moved. Born and raised in Philly. And then he like goes into this like big biography about like everything about his life when it's like, okay, now, and he says like, I'm looking for a cool girl to make it even more fun. And she's like, I think I qualify. So she's qualifying to him. So that's good. Like he hasn't messed anything up by being bored. This is the thing. A lot of you guys, like you kind of mess it up a lot and you could have done way better. You could have gotten her way more excited about talking to you, like more turned on talking to you. But you don't. And because girls like just keep giving you chances and like it's important to like spot these mistakes even though it wasn't a bad interaction necessarily. Do you like wine? Good. This is like leading. This is like a leading question, like a soft close. And then we should share some wine sometime. I really prefer saying we should split a bottle sometime. We should or ask her like if she liked white or red, and then you can say we should split a bottle of red sometime. And then she can say yes or whatever. So then gets her number. Hey, it's Kevin from Tinder. I would definitely say, hey, it's Kevin from The Thing. That is way funnier and just like more unique. And I think tons of guys use it at this point, but it's still funny. Like it still works. It just is a timeless classic. You can also say like, hey, it's Kevin, your internet boyfriend or your boyfriend from the internet. Like make some joke about how you're some random dude from the internet. That's fine, but it can put you in like a low value kind of frame. She's like, hey, nice to meet you. How's your Sunday? Going good. Just finished a workout. So looking nice and fit for our date. That's a decent DHV. I think it's a little too qualifying to the girl though. Like you're saying like, I'm looking nice and fit for our date. Not like, you could make it way funnier without qualifying to her. So you could be like, I'm, just get done with the workout. I'm slow motion running, dripping with sweat and glistening in the sun or something. Like you can make it funny without like saying that you're that excited for the date. Cause you haven't even made plans yet. And then she's still qualifying. Like this girl is like all over him. And this is the feedback that I gave him, which is I'm pretty sure this girl just wanted to hook up with him and he was giving boyfriend vibes. So she's like, I'll let you be the judge if I'm looking nice and fit. Just got done with the whatever, got done with a workout. And then she just like talks about her day. He asks how tall she is. Cool. Um, then he asks when she's free. Instead of asking when a girl's free, get her schedule from now on. Just always do that. Because when you get her schedule, she's telling you her honest schedule. She's not telling you when she's free to see you. And then that way you can pick a time that works for you. And it's way smoother. It's way better than being the like fake assertive alpha male where you're like, I'm taking you out Friday night for drinks, be there. And then she's like, I already have plans, dude. Like, and then you're getting the opposite compliance. You're getting rejected. And so it's setting a bad frame. And then next, you're also, yeah. And then on the other side of things, like asking like when she's free, it's like, when are you free to see me? But if you do this way, it's like you can get the best of both worlds where you tell her where to meet, you tell her where you're going to go on a date with her, where you're going to take her, but then you also know she's free. So yeah, so she's like, yeah, let's check it out. Which is cool. Down to meet 8 p.m. She's like, let's not do tomorrow. Nothing against you. Just don't know what I want. Not trying to waste your time. And this is what has me thinking that she was just trying to fuck because she's not trying to waste his time. And she gets the vibe that he is like a boyfriend type of guy. And then he actually does a decent job of like trying to bring it back where he says, if you're too nervous, I understand. That is actually a good like way to come back from that. But he set the frame of like, I'm this kind of nice guy that breaks the tension and I'm not going to make you qualify or chase or anything. And I'm not going to tease it all. And so that's what's missing. Not much sexualization, not much of this compliance loop in the texting. So if you enjoyed the video, like the video, subscribe, and send this to a friend that needs it. Virgin Jerry. I think I called him Virgin Jerry last time. Your friend Virgin Jerry, he needs this. So send it to him.